So my daughters have spent the last almost 2 months completely obsessed with K-Pop Demon Hunters. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that means you are old. K-Pop Demon Hunters is a delightful movie from the Sony animation people who sold it off to Netflix for nothing, apparently. But it has been an absolute worldwide freaking sensation. It's about a K-pop band that also fights demons, and then the demons start their own rival boy band, and then shenanigans happen, and it turns out the whole thing was really about like self-hatred and self-acceptance. And as an old school Evangelion fan, I am all on board with that. And the soundtrack has a whole bunch of total bangers on it. The opening song is, imagine like Kendrick Lamar meets Jet Song from West Side Story. There's a little bit of that energy. There's what sounds like, Backstreet Boys but evil. And if you ever lose faith in the world, do keep in mind that the most popular song of this summer required a singer who could sing a range of about 2.5 octaves. So the kids are going to be all right. Anyways, what this constant barrage of K-pop Demon Hunters and Korean cultures has done is forced me to reckon with the fact that I have not done anything from Korea on this channel yet. Which is, there's reasons for that. The normal thing I would reach for to review on this channel would be Soju. The problem is most of the Soju you can get in the States right now is heavily, aggressively flavored, and even when it's not, it's just not particularly interesting. There is some traditionally made Soju out there, but I haven't been able to get any. So I've turned my hopes to various kinds of rice wine, which are, so we got some Makgeollis, which are sort of the unfiltered version for the lower classes. It's associated with the lower classes, let's say. And we've got a Chungju, which is the more filtered, more refined version for like the courts and the aristocrats and that sort of stuff. And yeah, what do I want to say about these? So you've got, these are made mainly with rice and also with nuruk. And if if you're familiar already with koji in Japan or Jochu in China, chu, then you kind of know what you're getting into. But whereas with koji, you're getting really, really specific, narrow range of molds that you use to accomplish saccharification and eventually fermentation. And whereas with chu, it depends on which kind of chu you're talking about. You're talking about you're still talking about something that's cultivated. There's a much broader range of little microorganisms in your chu than there is in koji generally, but it's still, you're still like cultivating your little patties, and so it's still very controlled in terms of how you're doing it. Nuruk is, it's not uncontrolled fermentation, not fermentation is not the right word. Uncontrolled cultivation of microorganisms, but the control is the environment. You're basically making sort of cakes of grains, then specifically rice, hanging them up, and just letting the microorganisms have at it for a couple weeks. Then you take them down, you mix them up with your rice, and all the microorganisms do the work of saccharifying and then fermenting your delicious rice starch, and then you get alcohol. So it's that kind of style. It's going to be as a result, it's going to be a little bit more, how do I use neutral? A little bit more rustic and wild in the best possible way than what you're going to get, for example, in sake. So yeah, I have never tried a Chungju before. but I'm going to try one today. We're going to start with this because we're going to go in order of ascending alcohol strength, because generally that means we're going to get sweeter as we go. I've tried Makgeolli before, but it was ones in like those little like plastic soda jug looking things, and it was kind of uncomfortably sweet for me. So I'm hoping these are all available binnies. There's also some canned ones that I didn't want to go for. So I bought these because they were the best looking ones. And also, will you check out the color on this? This is awesome. All right, so let's get started. I have not opened these yet. They've been chilling in the fridge for about 2 hours. And you will discover them as I discover them. All right, so we're going to start with Gamsa Blue Chungju. Pop this. Notice I brought out the stemware today. Give that a nice healthy pour. All right, so I'm not going to score these on a 100-point scale as I normally do, because I am not familiar with either of these styles to any significant degree. I'm instead going to score them on a scale of 1 to 5 finger heart emojis. So yeah, let's get stuck into this. On the nose. Ooh, nutty. Yeah, okay. So imagine taking a bag of mixed nuts and then oh, I like this. I already like this. And then pouring some like a really strong ass lager on top of them. Almost like one of the better malt liquors, but nice, like King Cobra. Let's go King Cobra. Pour that on top of your mixed nuts and add like some mustard. Yeah. Like some Dijon mustard. But there's also some fruit in here. There's some green apple. Oh, I love the yeastiness on this. It's so, like, there's a I mean, aspects of this actually remind me of a Pinot Grigio. You can get beery notes on Pinot Grigio. That's the lees aging. But it's so much better than that. Yeah. There's some almost some other kind of fruit. What is that? Apple, yes. What else is in there? Come on, talk to me. Banana peel? Banana peel. No. Back up. Plantain peel. Yeah, it's a little bit more green. I like this. I'm already excited. Now, this is not going to have the kind of ripping acidity, I don't think, at least, that a wine would have. So you have to kind of treat it like a different thing. Let's see what we got on the palate. Ooh. I'm digging this. Ooh. There's like almost an oxidative, almost like a sherry character to this, except again, you're not getting the acidity that you tend to get with like an Amontillado or something. But that's the closest point of comparison I can make on this. In lots of ways, this arrives on the front of the palate like a little bit like a really, really strong ass lager, like the best malt liquor you have ever tasted. But then on the back end, it suddenly starts to turn into an Amontillado in the middle of your mouth, except not as much acidity. There's some nuttiness on that, like the mixed nuts thing is fun. The mustard, yeah, in lots of ways really follows the nose. Green apple, a little sour pear, a little squirt of oh, that's not lemon. What is that? Like a citron, like a little bit of citron. Yeah, so closest point of reference is probably like Amontillado, sherry. But I also think of some of the more rustic sakes I've had. Except this is like pushing what those are doing, which I love, like further in that direction. What would I pair this with? I mean, cheese. Cheese immediately comes to mind. Not fresh cheese. No. Don't try brie with this. Or at least I wouldn't. I would think more like blue cheeses, maybe. Like a Stilton would be amazing. Sharp cheddars. Could do different kinds of salads with this. Just a good old bad restaurant Caesar salad with this would be fantastic. But also, you could throw some spicier food at this, like yassa chicken, if you're a fan of West African cuisine. There's a little bit of acidity in there, just a little bit to keep your palate alive. But it's really not about that. This is about texture. This is about the kind of savory, quasi-oxidative wine notes. I like this a lot. I'm going to give this. I've never had this style before, but I'm going to give this. I'm going to be cautious. I'm not going to go the full 5 heart fingers. I will go 4 though. 4 heart fingers for this. Really, really impressive. Let me write that down so I don't forget it. 4 heart fingers, and then we move on to this. And by the way, please do leave comments down below about how I bought the wrong Chungjus and Makgeollis, and how there's this and this in this Korean market in Chicago, and I need to go there and go to this aisle. But leave those comments down below. Oh, I should probably, yeah. All right, what the heck is this? This is Red Monkey. They say rice wine on this, but it's a makgeolli. And they have put in some red rice yeast on this, so it's not like fruit, or that's just the red rice yeast. And we're gonna pour this. Oh yeah, it looks like it looks like V8 juice. This is fantastic. All right, I am a little terrified. Now, of course, in sake you do have a cloudy variation as well. You've got get that out of the way. You got the nigori. I always want to say nigiri, but that's sushi. Nigori, which is the cloudy style, but it tends to be more desserty. Not to say you don't find a lot of sweet makgeolli out there, which again that's not really my thing. But you do find a lot more dry styles out there than you do of nigoris. So we're going to try this out. God almighty. Here we go. Ooh. Maybe it's my brain playing tricks on me, but I'm absolutely getting like a tomato paste note on this. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this smells like tomato paste. No, but it's yeasty tomato paste. It's like, again, like a yeasty big lager. Like, you're not King Cobra this time. This is less yeasty than the Chungju, actually. It's Colt 45. Works every time. So take your Colt 45, pour a little bit on top of your tomato paste, kind of muddle it around. A little bit of mustard in this too. It's not Dijon this time. It's more like the mustard powder, the Coleman's. If you don't have a little tin of Coleman's mustard powder, you're missing out. You're failing at life. I think I chilled this too much. It's almost too quiet on the nose. Come on. Okay, there's some fruit in that. What is that? It's almost like a yeah, cucumber, but it's like pickled cucumber, but not pickle. It's like Imagine you pickled a cucumber, but you used like cider vinegar. Like there's an intense appliness to this too. But again, it's all kind of behind the tomato paste muddled in Colt 45 thing. Fun. So one thing I will say, this does not smell like a nigori. So if you're coming to this with that expectation, no. This is a very different beast. I will say, if you are like a Claren fan, if you like those crazy, super duper savory rums from Haiti, that style, you get some similar stuff from like Mexico and a few other places. You will probably like this nose. And I will even say, if you're a fan of like Nebbiolos, Xinomavros from Greece, those kinds of like savory, almost tomato-leaning red wines, you might also like this. Fun. Like the cider vinegar thing is kind of picking up steam. All right, I'm not going to waste any more time with it because I want to taste this. Here we go. It is a little sweet. Not excessively so. We're kind of in the range of like off-dry Riesling with this. God, the texture is crazy though. So drier than most, pretty much all the Nigoris I can immediately think of. But yeah, we're sort of in that range of like, I would estimate we're over 10 grams per liter of sugar on this, but not by much. Like, yeah, we're comfortably in off-dry range, but it's not, a lot. Yeah, so it's the texture on this which is really amazing. Well, there's lots of things about this that are fun. But the texture, it feels like I'm drinking a lassi or something. It's incredibly creamy. Plus a little bit of sweetness. So let's use that as the first flavor note. Lassi texture. A little bit of sugar, but then there's that kind of like tomato paste note. And with the exception of the sugar, it smells dry. Yeah, it smells dry. With the exception of the sugar, this very much follows the nose. Tomato paste, Colt 45. No, it's not green apple this time. It's more like a gala apple or a little bit of a honey crisp kind of thing. A little bit of tart apple. Long finish, really impressive texture. What I would love on this, and I'm asking unfairly because it's not really something you get a whole lot with rice beverages. I would love a little bit more acidity, just a little hint to lighten it up, to kind of provide some balance to the sugar. But I'm still really enjoying this. That nutty mustardy sherry thing I was getting so much in the Chungju is here as well, but not as much. Food pairings, again, you could do cheese. Here I think you get into some fresher cheeses. You could probably throw a camembert at this if you wanted, but I would really want to do like blue cheese, salty cheese of all kinds, Goudas, that kind of thing. I need something to wash my mouth out. And spicy food. I know I mentioned Yassa chicken with the Chungju, but this one really feels like you could throw curries at this. You could throw spicy ass noodles at this. that kind of thing. It still feels. I don't think it's got the weight to really hold up to heavy stews, or the acidity, or like steaks or stuff like that. But and it's almost too much for things like salads. But spicy food, cheeses, I think those would be killer. All right, let's move on. Last one. I'm running out of room on my table here. Last one. This is, what is this? White Lotus Makgeolli. And as the name should indicate, this is from Shinpyeong Brewery. This is the lowest in ABV. This is 7 versus about 10 and change for the Red Monkey. And the distinctive thing about this is, so it's made with rice nuruk, which is the kind of cultivated biobomb stuff. And they've also added leaves of white lotus, which is interesting. Oh, come on. Mix for me. Yeah, look at that. Oh, it's so chunky. I'm having lots of fun. This is great. All right. Oh my God, look at this. Look, that does not look safe to drink in the best possible way. All right, I'm excited. 7% alcohol. And yeah, so I'm expecting just from that relatively low strength that this is going to be the sweetest one, but we shall see. Let's see what we got on the nose. Sorry, the Red Monkey will not leave. It will not leave the screen. Oh, this one. Okay. If you are already a sake kind of person, this one will on at least on the nose, will make you feel the most at home. Yeah, this is really. You hand this to me with a blindfold on, I might think this is like a Junmai Ginjo or something. You're getting I always have trouble describing those kinds of sake notes. That's got that the beery kind of quality. Not malt liquor this time. You know, like a pale lager, pilsner, but no hops. Meats like there's some green apple in this as well. And I never know how to put this, like an ashy nuttiness, like an oxidative nuttiness. Certainly a kind of like a raw rice character, but like almost like rice husks. Okay. This might be the simplest on the nose. Hold on. I mean, it's the cheapest. Yeah, this one has. I'm not getting the lotus leaves. There's a little bit of a medicinal thing, like a drying cast. It smells a little bit like a drying cast. Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on there as well. There's a little bit of like dairy ice cream. Okay. I don't want to leave here, but wait. Did I grade the Red Monkey? I did not give the Red Monkey a score. God, I love this nose. I like it. I think it has potential for food pairings, but yeah, overall, I will give the Red Monkey a 3 finger heart emojis out of 5. Let's see what this has got. Yeah, it's maybe a hair bit more punchy than the Red Monkey, but it just doesn't have the detail. It certainly doesn't have the weirdness. I really prefer the Red Monkey on the nose at least. Let's see what happens on the palate. Ooh. Yeah, not my favorite. It is the sweetest thing here, but it's not as sweet as I was expecting. It's creamy. Ooh. It's got a fair bit of acidity, like a grainy sour thing. It might have the most acidity of what's here, but it's not. Doesn't feel like it's really balancing out. You've got more sour, but also more sweetness. And I still don't think it balances out. And there's not. And it's certainly got a creamy texture to it. Like my mouth is full of, I don't know, ricey ice cream. Ooh. But yeah, the yeastiness feels a little bit raw. There's some melon. Okay, so there's some apple in there that I'm liking, but there's also like some slightly off melon that I'm not liking so much. Yeah, this is... It's not a full-blown dessert wine, dessert makgeolli, but... We're leaning more in that direction. This is, if this was Riesling would be in like Auslese territory with this. So quite a bit sweeter. But also feels thinner. It's got the weird creamy texture but it's not like it feels like this isn't holding itself together in a coherent way, as much as the Red Monkey. And by the way, I know, like, the fact that I can find this on the shelves in Chicago already indicates it's not going to be the best thing out there. A lot of traditional makgeollis in particular are, they're not shelf stabilized, they aren't pasteurized, so they kind of, you can count the shelf life in days, maybe, a week or two at most. So this has already been flattened out from what it was, and even the Red Monkey has already been kind of flattened out from what it could have been if it were made a little bit more traditionally. And this one feels like even more kind of flattened out from there. If it had the complexity, yeah, like on the back end of this, just kind of feels sugary and, thin and... Well, I mean, creamy and thin at the same time, which sounds weird, but that's what I'm getting. If this had the detail and a little bit more weight to kind of support the additional sugar here, I think this could be solid. But yeah, this is not this is not my thing. This reminds me of a lot of crappy nigoris that I've had in my lifetime. I do like the little extra burst of acidity, that kind of grainy acid, but that's the best I can do. I don't know if it is. I will call this 1 finger heart plus. 1 finger heart plus out of 5. Because it's not undrinkable. I just don't like it. So yeah, that is lineup. And the most expensive options clearly are better. The Gamsa Chungju, this is my favorite thing here. I love this. Oh my god. It keeps developing. There's like a honey thing now. This is fantastic. Like if this had a little bit more acid to it, this would rule the world. Second place, the Red Monkey, 3 finger hearts versus the 4 of the Chungju. And in last place, although it is the cheapest, the White Lotus with 1 finger heart plus. And yeah, that is that is my attempt to do justice to my daughter's current obsession. Yeah, Korea. Thanks for watching and cheers.